Hello, my name is Carlos Campabadal. I'm an outreach specialist in feed manufacturing and grain storage and faculty at the International Grains Program Institute, or IGP Institute, of the Department of Grain Science and Industry of Kansas State University. These lectures are part of the Soybean Excellence Center through its feed manufacturing track on the basic level. The following lecture will be about the receiving and sampling techniques on feed manufacturing ingredients. The learning objectives for this lecture are: understand transportation of feed ingredients into a feed mill, understand the receiving process in a feed mill, and understand how to sample feed ingredients, all the way from receiving all the way to the final product. When we talk about the process of feed manufacturing, it is very important to know that when we're receiving feed ingredients, it is an essential part of the process, since it is where the quality actually starts. Sampling of feed ingredients is key to understand what quality is that we're receiving and how much are we receiving from any specific feed ingredient. Also, very important is that once we know the quality and how much we're getting of a specific feed ingredient, we can know where to store it. Therefore, it will help us organize better or have a better organization of all of our feed ingredients, either grain, any soft stocks like soybean meal, or any type of liquids or any bag feed ingredient. Also, it's key to understand that the receiving process is essential part of the accounting process for management, because that's where we know how much of any ingredient or supplement is entering the feed mill, and it could go back into the accounting and financial books. So when we quantify feed ingredients, that happens at the receiving portion. So that is what is very important. If we look into this simple diagram of animal feed manufacturing, it will be this at the first point of entrance into a feed mill. When we talk about transportation of feed ingredients into a feed mill, well, it will depend if the ingredients come either in bulk or in bags. As you can see here in this slide, there's different type of trucks that could bring ingredients in bulk and some, of course, in bags. That type of trucks will depend a lot on the conditions where you're located, depending on the availability of the different type of trucks and your unloading system that could go under the bed of a truck, like the hopper bottom trailers, or if you have a platform and use a dump trailer like you see here in the slide. When we talk about liquids, it is the same concept as the rest of the feed ingredients. Some of them will come in bulk, some of them will come in barrels or containers. Depending on the type of liquid, some of those tanks that bring those ingredients in bulk will need to be pressurized, or some will be just a regular typical tanker like you see here on the pictures. The most common type of feed ingredients that are liquid that come into a feed mill usually are animal fats, molasses, and then of course there's other like synthetic amino acids, choline, and other type of ingredients. Besides using trucks to carry feed ingredients into a feed mill, it's also very important to know that there's also rail. Trains also serve to bring ingredients mainly in bulk, like corn, soybean meal, DDGs, and also some of the liquids like fats, molasses in tankers. And also, as you probably know, if you're an importing country of feed ingredients like corn, soybeans, soybean meal, DDGs, vessels will be the mode of transportation. Usually a vessel will have different storage bins or silos depending on its size. But what is important to know is that some of those vessels will need to have their own crane in order to be unloaded into the port, especially if the port destination doesn't have any type of unloading equipment. At the end of the day, what is important to know is that vessels play a key role in what it is, the whole supply chain of feed ingredients moving through all the different countries around the world. This concludes part 1 of the presentation on receiving and sampling of feed ingredients. Please continue with part 2.